The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with Jim Allen and Mary Wilson.
Hello and thanks for joining us for Simply Southern. I'm Jim Allen.
And I'm Mary Wilson. On today's show, Sydney Phelps of Bonnie Plants joins us here in studio to answer more gardening questions submitted by our viewers.
Many Alabama farmers are optimistic about a new crop that was grown in Alabama for the first time in 2019. Industrial hemp has a number of uses, and growers hope the income potential will help them combat low crop prices.
This is not a row crop, it's a specialty crop. It's high input, high labor, and there's going to be some folks that can make a little bit of money off of it.
We'll also meet an artist who can create amazing photographic detail with just the tip of a simple pencil.
But up next on Simply Southern, we're off to the Shoals, where the sounds of summer have a distinctively bluesy tone, as Florence and surrounding areas honor one of their native sons with the annual WC Handy Music Festival.
What sustains us? Food? Family? Faith? Alabama farmers live those things every day. They conserve our resources, clothe our families, and fill our tables. They cultivate jobs for our communities and values for our future. Farmers grow it all, right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Thanks to the 2014 Muscle Shoals documentary, lots of folks are familiar with Northwest Alabama's contributions to rock and roll music history. But decades before the Rolling Stones and Cher came to town, the foundations of another music form were taking root in the mind of a young W.C. Handy. Known as the father of the blues, the city of Florence celebrates Handy's legacy with the annual music festival that bears his name.
The Tennessee River is known as the Singing River. Given the rich music history of the Shoals, there must be something in the water. And long before rock and rollers sought to record at Fame and Muscle Shoals sound studios, a young W.C. Handy was soaking up the sounds of nature in Alabama's Renaissance city.
He was born here in Florence, 1873, and as he describes in his autobiography, it was actually a very pleasant experience, which is a testimonial to the city and to this region. The world knows him as a celebrated composer of the blues, the first composer of the blues. Many acknowledge him as the father of the blues.
Carlos and his wife Maribel recently took over the administration of the W.C. Handy Home and Museum in Florence. Visitors can see the two-room cabin where the blues man was reared and peruse the museum's vast collection of items from his illustrious career.
The most incredible thing was there's a Japanese record of the St. Louis Blues that was discovered on Iwo Jima when the armies occupied it, when the U.S. Army occupied it. So that gives you a sense of his popularity. Even the enemy was playing it. It's more than just the beautiful blues compositions he composed. The elements of the man, his psyche, his drive, his intellect, his dignity, all those things make up the man, and they're an important part of who he is, which is the father of blues.
Once a year, blues fans pack the grounds of the Home and Museum for the opening ceremonies of the W.C. Handy Music Festival, which was first hosted in Florence back in 1982.
He had a huge impact on the music world, and jazz in particular, not just here, but everywhere. When people find out he is from here and like, wow, that's amazing, he came from here. And so people are familiar with his music, even if they don't know his name. When they hear it, they say, oh yeah, I know that. And so he's a very important person, so we want to share that with everyone and take time to celebrate the heritage from this area.
During the 11 days of the festival, people tap their toes to tunes played in parks, restaurants, church fellowship halls, and even art museums. The sounds spill from Florence into 7 surrounding cities in 3 counties.
One of the best things to me about the Handy Festival is how many events there are. I know people who will event hop all night, every night, to all the different restaurants. They'll go stay at this place for 45 minutes and then move on to the next place and another one over the course of a whole evening.
The seemingly endless refrains of music from all genres are a fitting tribute to Handy, a son of Florence and father of the blues.
Some people take issue with that he's called the father of the blues because they say, well, he didn't create the blues. Yes, he even acknowledges that. But when you recognize that classically trained musicians, white society, educated black society, turned their backs on the blues, and he had the courage to reach out and learn it and publish or compose it in a authentic style, but in a style that people could understand. I mean, that is revolutionary.
Handy's legacy actually dates back 110 years when his composition Memphis Blues was released. But blues and jazz fans know him for lots of other hits like St. Louis Blues, Beale Street Blues, and Yellow Dog Blues.
He really did play a pivotal role in the music we hear today. That looked like a lot of cool pieces in that museum. What were some of your favorites?
Well, the thing that I found the most interesting was the Braille music that they had in there. In the mid-1940s, Handy fell off a train platform and hit his head, and he actually went blind. So following that accident, he created a foundation that financially supported other African Americans who were visually impaired.
That's really impressive. Up next on Simply Southern, we'll tell you the story of a wiregrass artist who found success with little more than a pencil, a piece of paper, and a tree.
Wear long pants, long sleeve shirts, and closed-toed shoes. Don't be ticked. Use repellents with 20% DEET on skin and 0.5% permethrin on gear and clothing. Don't be ticked. Avoid sitting on rotten logs or stumps. Don't be ticked. Protect yourself from serious tick-borne illnesses and seek timely treatment to prevent long-term problems. No hunters were angered in the making of this film.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Soybean is a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product.
The soybeans that we grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world.
We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
Some of the best things in life start with a bundle. And some of them can actually save you money. Like when you bundle your auto and life insurance with Alpha. Protect what's important to you at a price you can afford.
All for a better life.
Alpha Insurance.
All for a better life.
Ask your local agent about Alpha's auto life discount.